Little Joe the Wrangler will wrangle nevermore. His days with the remuda, they're all done. Long about last April when he rode into our camp, just a little Texas stray and all alone. Long late in the evening when he rode into our camp, on a little old brown pony he called Charles. His brogan shoes and coveralls, a harder looking kid you never in your life had seen before. Our saddle was a southern cack built many years ago, had an okay spur on one foot, idly hung. His hot roll in a cotton sack was loosely tied behind, and a canteen from the saddle horn he'd slung. Said he'd had to leave his home because his pa had married twice, and his new ma beat him every day or two. So he saddled up old Chaw one night and lit a shuck this way. Thought he'd try and paddle now his own canoe. Said he'd try and do the best he could if we'd only give him work, though he didn't know straight up about a cow. So the boss, he cut him out a mount and kinder put him on. Then we knew he liked our little stray somehow, 'cause he taught him how to herd the horses and learn to know them all, and round them up by daylight if he could. Then to follow the chuck wagon and to always hitch the team, and to help the course some narrow Russellwood. We'd driven to Red River, and the weather, it was fine. We camped down on the south side in a bend, when a norther started blowing, and we called the extra guard, 'cause it took all hands to hold the cattle in. And now little Joe the Wrangler was called out with all the rest, and barely had the kid got to the herd, when the cattle they stampeded like a hailstorm long they flew, with all of us riding for the lead. Then between the streaks of lightning we could see a horse ahead, was little Joe the Wrangler in the lead. He was riding old Blue Rocket with his slicker o'er his head, and he's trying to check the leaders in their speed. Well, we finally got 'em milling and they sort of quieted down, and the extra guards back to the camp they'd go. One of them was missing, we all knew at a glance, was our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. Now we found him there at sunup, where old Blue Rocket fell, in a washout some 20 feet below. Beneath his horse mashed to a pulp, his spurs had rung the knell, for our little Texas stray, poor Wrangler Joe. And now little Joe the Wrangler will wrangle nevermore. His days with the remuda, they're all done. Was long about last April when he rode into our camp, just a little Texas stray and all alone.
No, you never gotta worry about things like that. So don't think twice, because I ain't afraid of the slow burn. And one thing's for sure, it's good to make a good thing last. So girl, don't worry, this boy ain't gonna run. There ain't no hurry, we got plenty of days left under the sun. No, it ain't a one-day ride, it's up through the mountains down through the canyon where the wild things hide and the cottonwoods fall. Feel the river underneath our feet. We'll be drowning in a sagebrush sea, long as I know that it's you and me. Time don't matter at all. Girl, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. Take a hold of my hand. I'm gonna love you slow like the hourglass sand. God knows I spent a lifetime lonely wandering, but I'm all in for good. I wanna be your man. So girl, don't worry, this boy ain't gonna run. There ain't no hurry, we got plenty of days left under the sun. No, it ain't a one-day ride. It's up through the mountains where the coyotes cry, down through the canyon where the wild things hide and the cottonwoods fall. Feel the river underneath our feet. We'll be drowning in a sagebrush sea, long as I know that it's you and me. Time don't matter at all. Girl, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. Forever and again, I'm in it for the long haul. I don't ever look back. No, you never gotta worry about things like that.
In a land the Spanish once had called the Northern Mystery, where rivers run and disappear, the Mustang still is free. By the Devil's Wash and the Coyote Hole and the wild Hawaii Range, somewhere in the sage tonight, the wind calls out his name. Hi, hi, hi. Come gather round me, buckaroos, and a story I will tell of the fugitive Claude Dallas who just broke out of jail. You might think this tale is history from before the West was won, but the events that I'll describe took place in 1981. He was born out in Virginia, left home when school was through. In the deserts of Nevada, he became a buckaroo. And he learned the ways of cattle, and he learned to sit a horse. And he always packed a pistol, and he practiced deadly force. Then Claude, he became a trapper, and he dreamed of the bygone days. And he studied bobcat logic in the wild and silent ways. In the bloody runs near Paradise, in the monitors down south, trapping cats and coyotes, living hand to mouth. Aye, aye, aye. Then Claude took to living all alone, out many miles from town. A friend, Jim Stevens, brought supplies, and he stayed to hang around. That day, two wardens, poking elms, drove in to check Claude out. They were seeking violations and to see what Claude's about. Now Claude had hung some venison, he had a bobcat pelt or two. Folk claimed they was out of season, he says, Dallas, you're all through. But Dallas would not leave his camp, he refused to go to town. As the wind howled through the bull camp, they stared each other down. It's hard to say what happened next, perhaps we'll never know. They were gonna take Claude into jail and he vowed he'd never go. Jim Stevens heard the gunfire, and when he turned around, Bill Pogue was falling backwards, Conley Helms, he fell face down. Aye, aye, aye. Jim Stevens walked on over. There was a gun near Bill Pogue's hand. It was hard to say who'd drawn his first. Claude hadn't made his stand. Claude said, I am justified, Jim. They were gonna cut me down. And a man's got a right to hang some meat when he's living this far from town. It took 18 men and 15 months to finally run Claude down. In the sage outside of Paradise, they drove him to the ground. Convicted up in Idaho, manslaughter by decree. 30 years at Maxon, but soon Claude would break free. There's two sides to this story, there may be no right or wrong. The lawman and the renegade have graced 1,000 songs. The story is an old one, conclusion's hard to draw. But Claude's out in the sage tonight, he may be the last outlaw. Aye, aye. In the land.
Have you ever picked guitar on your front porch in the morning as the sun was rising? Or followed your dog down to the river and ran into an old baptizing? Do you think to pull off on the side of the road when that big black hearse is passing? Have you ever helped someone in need without them even asking? We do that in the country. Let me tell you about country. Country can be in the middle of the city. Country can be on a farm. Country ain't even a place on the map. It's a place in your heart. Would you ever hitch a ride to Music City just to see an Opry show? Would you drive across the country just to listen to some country? Country can be in the middle of the city. Country can be in a barn. Country ain't even a place on the map. It's a place in your heart. Have you ever been there at the courthouse square for the parade on the 4th of July? With a tear on your face and a lump in your throat as you watch Old Glory go by. Or sat through a service where they played taps for a soldier who never came home. Or looked in the sad brown eyes of his mama as she touched his name on that stone. He fought for his country and died for his country. Yeah, I love my country. Let me tell you about country. Verse is passing. Have you ever helped someone in need without them even asking? We do that in the country. Let me tell you about country. Country can be in the middle of the city. Country can